for the local government elections on June the 16th, many will be watching to see the people make their choices through the ballot. Emmanuel Erei, Channels Television News.
And staying in Rivers State, there was a mild tension in Port Harcourt today after a police officer allegedly shot and killed an army officer during a scuffle. According to the Commissioner of Police in the state, Zaki Ahmed, the two men had engaged each other in an argument during which there was an exchange of gunfire, which led to the death of the soldier. According to him, the situation is under control as the two security agencies are expected to issue a joint press statement. The Director of Public Prosecution in Kwara State Ministry of Justice, Mr. Jimo Mumini, is insisting that the offences allegedly committed by some cultists recently paraded by the police are state-based and should be tried under the state laws instead of transferring them to the force headquarters in Abuja for further questioning. His comment follows the alarm raised by the Senate President, Dr. Bukola Saraki, who alleges that the Inspector General of Police was plotting to implicate him by transferring the suspects to Abuja for questioning, an allegation the police have denied. Mr. Muminu, who spoke to journalists at the end of an emergency security meeting convened by the state governor with heads of all security agencies in the state, says he hopes the suspects will be brought back to the state for trial. Meanwhile, some youths in the state capital have staged a protest to the governor's office to express their concern about the alleged plot to implicate the Senate president. The protesters are asking President Muhammadu Buhari to call the Inspector General of Police to order from what they called the planned harassment of the Senate president.
4 of the offenders were transferred to Abuja. Well, we will not know. We want to believe for probably further investigation. And of course, we are quite aware that we have had other very notorious cultists in the state and have been tried and jailed under the laws of the state. And we also have very, very notorious and dangerous killers, which have been sentenced to death by the High Court of the state, trial by the Ministry of Justice. So we expect in the same vein that whatever investigation the police must have done on this, we want them to return them as quick as possible so that we can commence their trial in the state like we have done in respect of all our other offences.
I want to thank you for a peaceful approach to what you have done, and what you have said has been fully captured and will be delivered to the appropriate quarters accordingly. Inshallah, we should go about our activities peacefully and ensure that we maintain law and order.
Leading financial technology driver InterSwitch Group is partnering with the volunteer organization Slum to School to improve child education with the construction of a STEM and innovation lab in Makoko. STEM, which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics, is a curriculum that seeks to educate students with real-world applications in these 4 specific disciplines. With this groundbreaking move, the organizers hope the schools will follow suit.
This primary school stands right in the heart of Makoko in Lagos, serving as the only school for the children here. But today, the students are about to receive a special present, courtesy Slum to School, powered by InterSwitch. It is one of the very first STEM and innovation labs in the country, but the founder of Slum to School believes more will come.
And our goal is to make this complex a model public primary school that other schools and other local governments will emulate.
The lab is commissioned
in the name of the Father, Amen, and of the Son, Amen, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Fantastic.
And the visitors take a moment to soak in the creativity in the space. A tricycle serves as a mini lounge right next to a canoe with computers. The children eagerly wait in another room. For InterSwitch, this is another step in fulfilling one of its global CSR strategies of empowering disadvantaged children through education.
What you've seen here today is to bring that desire to life by providing access to quality STEM education to the underserved in a community like this in Makoko.
I will always say thanks to Michelle and the entire team at InterSwitch, because they believe in the vision of Slum to School, and they believe that, you know, they can work with us to empower thousands of our children across communities.
Apart from being equipped with numerous computers, the STEM and Innovation Lab also houses a smart learning screen that systematically exposes the children to educational materials from around the world. They can sit and brainstorm on ideas, read books, or play intelligent games. But most importantly, they can aspire to achieve great heights.
Interesting. Now let's move on to business news. Here's Anne Wilder.
You First. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Ijoma. The African Development Bank, the AFDB, says that it has approved a $100 million loan for Nigeria's Indorama LMF Fertilizer and Chemicals Company to help support its plans for increased fertilizer production in the country. The company, a unit of Singapore-based petrochemical producer Indorama, says that it aims to double its annual output of urea fertilizer from 1.4 million tons to 2.8 million tons. The bank's intervention follows a previous loan extended to Indorama Fertilizer back in 2013 for the commissioning of another urea fertilizer plant with a production capacity of 1.4 million tons per annum. A statement from the AFDB says the project will also address the challenge of inadequate fertilizer utilization, which is considered one of the principal constraints of agricultural growth and development in Africa. 2017 was a challenging year for many companies in the country, owing to the lingering effects of economic recession, which was carried over from 2016. Now, leading building materials company Lafarge Africa plc says it weathered the storm by broadening its investment base. At the company's 59th annual general meeting in Lagos, the board announced plans to improve the cement giant's financial performance.
It's an impressively attended meeting. It takes off in earnest with relevant officers reading financial reports depicting the performance of the company in 2017. In spite of the fact that it was a difficult period characterized by a slow rise out of economic recession carried over from the previous year, Lafarge Africa plc is giving shareholders a dividend of £1.50 per share, representing a 45 kobo increase per share on the 2016 dividend and amounting to a total of 13 billion naira.
We are committed to deliver. If you look at 2017 results, we'd over-delivered our performance.
This is not at the expense of expansion.
This company is very, very committed, not only to improving its performance, but we're also going through a process of further investment.
Members of the board are particularly impressed with their shareholders' support in fully subscribing to a rights issue to the tune of 131.6 billion naira.
By more than 80 billion naira, this is the largest ever rights issue in Nigeria's history. It's absolutely important that you reward them.
Lafarge has agreed with shareholders to raise an additional bond worth 100 billion naira.
It's purely for flexibility and to be able to go to the market in the future when there is opportunity.
Shareholders are certainly upbeat about proceedings today and hopeful that things will improve in the area of returns.
Shareholders were able to express their feelings, and that will arm the management.
Despite all the difficulty here, the company was able to give us a dividend of £1.50 kobo.
We are assured as shareholders that next year will be far better than this year.
Lafarge Africa PLC has presence in Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa, and is one of the 7 companies listed on the premium board of the Nigeria Stock Exchange, having met the exchange's most stringent corporate governance and listing standards.
Investors at the domestic stock market wasted no time to cash in on the previous rebound in the share price of listed equities. For more details on this, let's join Teniola Shibowale.
Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. Profit taken resumed at the close of Thursday's trade-in at the Nigerian Stock Exchange as short-term investors took advantage of the gain earlier recorded in Wednesday's session. The all-share index fell by 0.83%, reflecting 123 billion naira depreciation in the total value of equities, while all the 5 majors also fell into negative territory. However, the total turnover of shares was higher at 424.36 million units, propelled by the shares of Zenith Bank, Access Bank and FCMB. Sovereign Trust Insurance recorded the highest price decline out of 18 gainers, up by over 9%, while the share price of Cement Company of Northern Nigeria dropped by over 5%, ahead of 26 other decliners. And that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Teniola Shibowale.
Thank you, Teniola. Major global equities market closed in the red today. Let's see the numbers from other world markets. With those numbers, we end business news for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Anne Nwawadu. It's back to you, Joma.
You First. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Still ahead on the news at 10, Super Eagles of Nigeria maintain their 47th position in the latest FIFA World Ranking, 28 days to the 2018 World Cup in Russia. That's on sports. Please stay with us.